Jesse, how you feeling, man? I can't remember the last time a character's died when
No, it's
one
the
of my
first time. It's the first time one of my characters have died. Never happened.
This is gonna sound crazy. I'm not gonna say I'm like drunk with power, but that does feel interesting, right? Like it really feels like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm pretty fair and everything, but it's like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
no,
no, yeah, it was perfectly fair within the rules. It's what would have happened. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, because like I said, while you're walking through that, when you guys were walking in, you saw dead people all over. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like a battlefield, and they're not going to be like, "Whoa, go back to that guy right there." It's like, no, I'm right here. We're just going to stab him and make sure that
yeah.
he's.
We're gonna finish the job right here. He's still wheezing a little bit.
Yeah,
And,
it's crazy. I never thought that would. Yeah, I just never thought that was going to happen. I was just
yeah,
like,
it's perfectly fine. I mean, so like I don't know if it's always true. I feel like I know how to build characters well, right? And this character was a DPS character who, while being a DPS main thing, is that he is tough, right? He has some utility in off healing, and he's hard to murder, but he's ultimately not a tank. Like that's
right,
not the role I made him to be,
right.
and he's not a healer either. So he is, and we are rolling only that. We have no true tanks.
Yeah.
We have no healers.
Everybody's kind of like half of something. I was just talking to Todd about it. Everybody's like half of something. Swami is Christian's really the only full caster. Everybody else is like, the druid, half caster, kind of, you being a paladin / warlock, half caster, kind of,
Yep.
Then, Todd being a bladesinger, half caster. So you don't have any like full casters or full melee or whatever.
Oh, and also I was thinking like they like Todd is new at playing wizard, and so he doesn't know how to like. So he built on accident a melee wizard,
Maybe.
which is fine, but then it doesn't use it that way.
Well, he
they're
does.
not
Yeah.
using the characters on how they're like intended to be built, or like Swami. He doesn't really know how to use. This is first. He has no idea
Yeah.
how to efficiently use those characters. And not that you have to. You just do it to have fun or whatever.
I remember
But,
Swami and us talking when he leveled up one time about Thunderstep and how great Thunderstep is about you grab someone and then you're 90 feet away and then it does damage when you leave. And he was
yeah.
he's like, no. I'm like, all right. Like, it's like, you got to learn, right? Like I'm in that campaign on Friday where I'm playing. And one of the guys, he said it was his first long D&D session. We finished. Everybody's level 13. He made an artificer that's like for support. And we still have to tell him what the dice are and everything. But just the way he and his character think, like, he's been so clutch the campaign. Everybody said that at the end. We were all talking about ups and downs. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm doing stuff right. It's like, dude, every spell that you picked was like, we need that right now. Like, he picked, like, we had a war machine in hell. So it's like Mad Max, whatever. And we couldn't move it because it was stuck. And he goes... I have an enlarge reduce spell. Can I just everybody get out of the war machine and I just reduce it and then we just pick it up and move it? And we're like, yes.
yes.
Then he did that. Then he can make, through an artificer, make explosives and stuff. And he was like making, because I was like, oh, my character, I don't have a dark vision. And he goes, oh, I have an ability for that. He grabbed extra parts and made goggles for me to see at night. I was like, there you go. You have really good stealth and you're the scout, go. Or, if you scout, take these. Then he got Vortex Warp, which is like the MVP spell where if you see someone, you can yoink them to you. They basically teleport to a spot you can see. So your colleagues, your party can fail the saving throw. You can do it on an enemy to get them out, but you can do it to your friends. So there was a couple times where somebody's in the line of whatever and he would vortex warp them. And then there was a time since we started using it, there was a guy getting away and he's like, I'm going to vortex warp that guy right in front of us so we can finish him off. And the guy made the save, but it was stuff like that. It was like, oh my God. He's like, I just think about the utility of, and the support of the character. He goes, I don't do a lot of damage, but he always had like 1 level cure wounds. So somebody was always on their ass unconscious and he'd come over and he had Well, he like dug into the architect thing and the engineer, so he had all these notes and like stamps. So he'd take his stamp and use that as like the artificer thing and stamp you, and you'd like wake up with like your 2 hit points and be like, "Oh, I'm alive! I'm alive!" Like,
I can't believe it. Oh my
yeah,
God.
and it's stuff like that. I mean, I don't. It was just kind of amazing to me, like the dice worked out like that. And like I said, I can't think of the last time that's happened. Usually, it's like, oh, you're two death saves down. Someone's got to get over to you, like, and the next turn, O'Grady was going to come over there, but it was like, he didn't want to get up in everybody's face. He was waiting for some of those guys to die, and then
he's also not here. Like,
yeah,
we're just. He takes a hiatus today. He's gonna just stay in the shadows. It's fine because the player's not
here. Yeah,
and so it feels fine. I'll make a new character.
You don't have like
you're cool with that.
You don't have a bottle of whiskey in the shower that you're gonna drink now and start crying like pour one out for Martok.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's how I'll end the night.
You're like, I don't drink anymore. You don't drink that much anymore anyway, so you'll have...
No, I basically only drink if I give myself food poisoning. That's the only time.
Oh, yeah. I just realized, like, it's one of those things where it feels like I have the flu afterwards, where I'd have 3 beers and be recovering the next day. Like, I had 3 beers. Why does it feel like I'm getting over the flu? Like, this sucks. Like, I don't... It's like...
So I did get... I was shoveling manure.
Nice.
Right, and then we were sweeping it, and then a little piece went right in the back of my throat, and so then I got beers for that day.
Yeah,
because
you're like,
nope.
If I'm gonna eat manure, I'm gonna have a beer to at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a sterile brew inside there, and so that's what I did. But I still have some left over. I have 1 left over, so I just get it done.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, I don't want to say it's cool. It's like I said, it's interesting. I can't remember the last time it's happened. Plus, what level was it? Everybody's like, what, 8 right now?
8, yeah.
I think at the end of this, you'll get to like 9 or 10, and then there's like 1 more chapter, I think, or whatever. So you get to 11 or 12, something like that. So,
nice.
So whatever character you make will obviously be this level. I'm not going to do the thing where I make you come in.
Oh, you're level 1.
You're like,
what?
You're like, I'm gonna stay in the back then while you guys work it out. Like you're just like, this dragon army seems like a lot.
Yeah,
I'll say this though. We're recording this. I made you roll because of your luck pendant, and you got evens and odds.
Uh-huh.
So I rolled really well to break the tie because I wanted to break the tie. And so in your next character, I'll give you a boon. I'll give your next character like a boon.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I don't know what you're gonna make. I don't know what.
I was thinking about neither a Sorlock or just a sorcerer, and we'd be like 3 mages type deal. Which would be
the Sorlock would actually be. If you do a Sorlock, let me know because I have a way to get him in the campaign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's try it. I've never done Sorlock before, and I'd already be level 8. Or it was either that, or just a cleric, or a wizard. 3. Let's try Sorlock. Yeah.
Do the Sorlock. Did you see Brandon Lee Mulligan did one of those Wired interviews where like the background's white and they do like tech support? So they'll have like a firefighter and they'll sit there and answer firefighting questions. Like the Twitter thing will come through and they'll be like, so-and-so and so-and-so asked, well, this is why we do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like lawyers, like, why do you do this? And blah, blah, blah. And they had Brendan Lee Mulligan, who's a DM, answer D&D questions. It was really good. It's like 30 minutes. And someone goes, one of the questions was, why are wizards so squishy? And he goes, what? He goes, you want hit points and be able to rewrite reality? Yeah, right. He's like that. Like,
yeah, no. It's like you want all the best of all worlds. It's like, no, that's not.
Yeah, he goes, D6? Come on. He goes, I came from 3.5. You only had a D4. He goes, D6? That's too squishy. He said, that's too much, even for nowadays. Like, it was pretty good. Well, Jesse, let me know. Do you think you'll have them done, obviously, by next week? Do you think next session?
Yeah. I'll have it. I'll have it ready for the next session. Do you want me to have any kind of particular background, or I just figured
if you do a Sorlock, let me do a Sorlock, and then let me know, and then maybe I'll record it. But we'll have a one-on-one session because I have a cool way to segue between the 2 characters and get him into the campaign. because it was like it was some side stuff that I planned that didn't come up yet. I was like, oh, this is going to come up sometime, and it just came up. Let me tell you, I was like reading it going, I don't know whenever I'm going to use this, but now I'm going to use it. So
yeah, I'll make it, I'll start on that tomorrow, basically.
So then, yeah. Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is a special episode of the Tabletop Experiment. This is actually episode 60, Dragonlance Part 51, but we're introducing a new character. So a lot of this is going to be quick. Jesse has a heart out. For some reason, I got a bank notification on my phone. No, they're not telling me I have extra money. That would be really cool. But no, they're just saying whatever. Anyway, this will be really quick. In the beginning of this episode, you guys should see we recorded right after Martok died. Right after he died, we recorded a little 20-minute thing of us talking. I checked the rules again. Sorry, Martok is dead. I was like, did I get that wrong? And no, he's rotting away. So to set up...
Rest in peace, Martok.
Rest in peace, Martok. Well, you know what? There is, not to ruin the module, but is a big battle at the end of this, and there is an epilogue with celebration. Obviously, you know, if everything goes well and, you know, the dragon army is defeated, there's going to be some revelry, right? So, like, there's going to be some drinks for the dead, some drinking games, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it'll all be good in the end. So Martok will get his due. There'll be many pints drinking in his honor. So that's how it's going to go. So to set up your character being Elven, what I was thinking was you were part of the exile of elves that came to the waste, the northern wastes, to find information about your homeland. And Darlamar, I got his name right this time, gave you a map and sent you out ahead of the group to scout ahead, and he was going to try to get a hold of you later. And he said he thought he knew what the City of Lost Names was, and he was kind of like putting things together with his research and discovering that maybe this is going to be a problem. One, if there's elven artifacts there, which the City of Lost Names is, it's not an elvish city, but it is ancient. And he thought maybe the king priest maybe was, basically he thought it was going to be important. And so he sent you with the information that he had, which is a map of the City of Lost Names and how to get there. He basically said, I need you to see if you can find this place, and if you can, there'll be a way to get a hold of me in the city. And so after 3 weeks of just traversing through the desert, you do find it. But what I need you to do is, if you have some dice, I need you to make me you need to make 3 Constitution saving throws. And I'm gonna be very above board. The DC is gonna start out at 10, and it's gonna climb. It's gonna go 10, 15, and 20. So I need you to make 3 checks. I'll turn on D&D Beyond really quickly.
Okay, I'm already.
Let me know, because I'm just loading in, so it might load a little bit slower for me.
So it's 3 checks. All right, so
Constitution saving throws. You're basically trying to. You're basically in the situation that the old party was in. You have very few rations. You have been able to find things in the wood in the waste to sustain yourself, but you're kind of running out, and you're trying to push yourself to some kind of oasis or some kind of shelter. You know what I mean? Like, you're really kind of behind the eight ball.
We gotcha. Okay. 8, 18, and 16.
Okay. You 8. So I said, hang on, I got to write this down again. I said 10, 15, and 20. So can you go over it again? So you failed the first one because I said 10, 15, and 20.
18's the second one.
Okay. So you passed the second one.
And 16's the third one.
And so you failed that. Right? 10, 15, 20? Yep. Okay. So you literally collapse, like, in the desert. You are running out of water. You've ran out of food. And you awaken in a pool of water. And don't worry, you're not drowning. That would be pretty shitty. But you wake up in probably like an ankle depth of water, and you kind of like pick yourself up. You're kind of like on your side, and you see a woman, a tiefling, with like beautiful, like tan leather clothing on, no armor. She's a very tan tiefling, but she has dark brown horns that kind of like come in a Y and kind of go back. And she has like red eyes. They're not they're normal. She has a pupil and everything like that, but her iris color is red.
Got it.
And
Okay.
she sees you like start to stir a little bit, and you see her come up, and she's got gloves on her hands, and she picks you up out of the water. And she's like, "Are you all right?" Give me a perception check while you're kind of like she's picking you up.
Gotcha. All right. Ooh, natural one. 5.
Uh, you notice kind of everything's kind of blurry because you literally passed out.
Yeah.
But with one hand she picks you up, and the other hand she hands you a water skin with water.
Nice.
And
Drink that down or try to.
she's like, "Were you with the exiles?"
I'll just be pretty truthful here. I'm just like, yeah. Was looking for the lost city or city of lost names, and then didn't make it.
You see her grin a bit, and she's like, "Come with me." And
All right, can I walk?
yeah, you kind of like stumble, and you notice the water's actually like it's like ankle deep, but as you go through, it's actually like really easy to get through. You're not really sloshing around. It's like it kind of like the elevation goes up, so it's kind of like going through a puddle. You know, you come through like it's like you are in an oasis. You see like broken crags around you, light coming in. You see green vines actually coming down through over the walls of this cavern that you're in, and everything's kind of like dark except for like these shafts of light. And she pushes through like this big, it's almost like a wall of moss and like vines. She pushes through them, and when you come through, you like all of a sudden you're just like bathed in like just a massive I don't know, beacon of light. And you look up, and in the ceiling it looks like this is almost a broken glass cover of, it would be maybe a temple or something, but some of the you see everything above you is glass, like a dome that's been knocked sideways. And you see if there is a hole in the glass, it's been covered up by vines. And you see water running down like the sides of the glass, almost like these little waterfalls that are in various places as you're walking up. And in the middle, you see this altar that is just incredibly just plain stone. It's smooth all the way around, like a cylinder that comes up maybe 3 feet, comes down, and you see her walking towards it. And she's like, "Well, funny enough, what was your name again?"
Kyburn.
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 She's like, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Kyburn. Funny story. You actually found the City of Lost Names. We're on the eastern part of it.
Yeah,
You wouldn't happen to have a map, would you?"
I do. I'll pull my map out.
She points right to, if you look, I don't know, maybe I should share my screen. That's probably going to screw up our thing. In the City of Lost Names, on kind of like the northwestern part of it, there's the Temple of Paladine.
Uh-huh.
She points right to that. She says, "You are right here." She
The
says,
northwestern.
yeah, the northwestern part of the City of Lost Names. And there's a big arrow there that says Temple of Paladine.
Gotcha.
I think I put it, did I put it in the, I think I put it in the general chat. Anyway, she points right to there, and she says, "As luck would have it, Kyburn," she said, "you're right here." And she points right to the temple. And she says, "It's well met that you're here." She says, "Because I have a proposition for you."
All right. I'm listening.
She said, "You see, I had a ward who went off. I gave him gifts. And unfortunately, that did not bear fruit. But if you accept a gift from me, I also have common purpose with you. I've been in these lands for a long time up north, and I'm sick to death of the Dragon Queen and what she stands for. So, if you accept these gifts from me and do what you can to either kill her or stop her, I will keep giving you gifts.
Yeah, I am all about it. And my kin also do not align well with the Dragon Queen. So this is in line with our interests.
She says, well,
So that works well.
that's very good. She says, one last thing. She said, do you have your? I mean, you have all your things on you that have been stolen. Do you have like a great sword or anything, or what is your weapon of choice? Like that you're.
I have a Warhammer.
So that's. She said that's your. She looks at you and looks at the warhammer. She goes, I take it you prefer the warhammer.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
She says,
So
well.
can build and destroy at the same time.
She says, come with me. She says, see, there's a group of people coming here that were actually good people, and they have a quest here, and I'd like you to help them. You all have common purpose. They're on their way here now, but there's a problem. There's a caretaker outside. She said, a very stuffy old tree. She goes, it's strange, but he makes sure this whole garden is tended to, as it were. She's a friend of mine. Anyway,
Oh,
these people are coming. I'm going to give you a gift, and you all have common purpose. You're all here to stop the Dragon Queen. So, she said, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you almost died. Let's be honest. You weren't doing well in the desert. You didn't have a lot of food. You were running out of water. You just so happened to be here. She says, but
it's true.
some of these people that are coming, they're actually good people, and they actually have supplies. And again, the Dragon Queen is not their friend. So with that, and she walks behind the altar, and she pulls out, holds up a bag of holding,
Uh-huh.
and she said, "This has some gear in it that you might find useful." And she says, "In fact, let me see. Can I see your warhammer, please?"
Yep, I'll hand that over.
She hands you the bag of holding.
Okay.
And takes your warhammer, and you see her put the warhammer like on the altar, and it's like perfectly balanced on the altar. And then you see her like clap, like bring her hands together and like, you know, rub them together for like heat. And you actually see sparks start to come out off her hands when she rubs them. She's got gloves on, and you see her like cup her hands like a magic trick, and then pull her hands out. And as she like brings her hands out, you see a full longsword like being brought out of her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the Seraph's Edge, your Martok's old blade.
Oh, snap.
And
all right.
she says this was the old blade, but she puts it like, she walks up and you see her like swing it once or twice, and she goes, it's a good blade, but unfortunately the person that wielded it is no more. And she sets it right on top of your warhammer, and you see it like start to like catch fire, like it ignite a little bit. You see sparks come off it, and then you see it like come down into your warhammer. Your warhammer glows like it's just come out of the forge, and then you see the glow go away, and it you see sparks come off it and stuff, like it's being hit with a hammer, and then everything fades away, and she picks up your warhammer and hands it to you.
All right. Thanks. What's the what did you do to it?
She's like, well, I made it better. She said, I said I was going to give you gifts, and there you go. She's like, I'll be
All
seeing
right.
you soon.
Thank you. All right, I'll check it out a little later.
She says,
And
remember,
what direction should I go to meet those people, by the way?
they'll be coming here to the temple. Just make
Okay.
sure there's someone out there who I care about very much, who's the warden of this place. They're very old and stuffy, and it's going to look like an old tree. But they're very good at their job. If they ask you to do something, I would just say I would do it, because they're the person or the creature that keeps this place looking like it does. And she kind of like, moves her hand around, and you see like, just water coming in. And she says, by the way, this is all fresh water. If you need to fill up any supplies, she said there should be some supplies in the bag of holding I've given you. But if you need anything else like water, it's all here.
Awesome. Yes, I will fill up whatever I can with good water.
You find like just from looking around, there's like can you give me a nature check while you're in here? Just like looking around and
Sure. Let's see here. 14.
that's good enough. You start looking through the vines and you see like weird mushrooms, but they're like edible. You know, you're like, oh, I can eat that. And, like berries, like things that don't really seem to be in this part of obviously the world. It's a desert. You have found some berries and things, but it's been very light. Um, you kind of like, I'll say that you get like a day's worth of rations from kind of like foraging around. And she looks as you're foraging. She says, "You'll hear." She goes, "You can go meet the other people coming at any time, but you will hear the warden here say something to the effect. You'll hear a call. It'll sound like a horn, and that means they're here. It's how he warns people if they've come too close. But they will be coming here to look at this altar. So, good luck, Kyburn. I hope you." I hope you have more luck than the last person. And well, if you do well, you'll get more gifts. That's all I'll say.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for all of this. This is amazing.
Well,
I will not let you down, or I'll die in the attempt.
she's like, let's hope not. And you see her like kind of walk through the, walk down the water, and you see like the dais kind of comes down, in different steps. And you see like it's like one of those, the things with the tubes where like the water is just circulating. You see that like there's water here, but it doesn't seem to really be going anywhere. And there's like even this waterfall is, this these strange waterfalls are kind of like coming through, but you don't see like water levels rising really. Like they're just kind of staying the same height, and there's no volume of water. Like you're not in like a knees depth of water anymore. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
There you go.
Sweet.
That'll get you
Yay.
to the Wednesday thing.